Welcome to an introduction to Passive House. This is part 3 of a 5-part series. In this episode, we'll review how the Passive House discovery challenges us to rethink and reimagine buildings. So, to achieve the wide range of benefits a Passive House building can provide, Passive House doesn't look to more power first to solve problems. Instead, as designers and builders, we re-engage the passive building elements, the architecture, the structure itself, and empower it to do the heavy lifting. As you would first place the fulcrum of a lever in the optimal position to lift a weight before applying power to lift it, in our case, think of the enclosure as the fulcrum, and how we formulate the enclosure, like the placement of the fulcrum, has an equally profound effect on the power needed to provide comfort and health. This flips our business as usual thinking. Consequently, Passive House does make us think and work differently. Passive House asks us to question everything, to effectively restart, like going back to the ancients. How do we optimize and empower the passive building elements to do this heavy lifting? And this goal, this quest of unlocking the power of the passive building structure, re-engages our focus with the ingredients, the recipes, the materials, the details, and the craft of building. It empowers and energizes the project team, from the owners to designers to builders and construction site laborers alike. Nothing and no one is taken for granted. And this quest for passive building power has us designing and building with energy flows and energy balance, not as far-off abstract concepts, but instead as active tools that inform everyone's work. And once we've decided to grapple with the idea that our architecture can produce such profound and far-reaching results, the challenge is really a simple question. Do we have the imagination? Do you have the imagination it takes? Please don't be deceived by what you may or may not think is possible. Passive House is just starting, and like the stone master builders of medieval times, who could have imagined that working in stone, they could develop the flying buttress that could effectively dematerialize the walls? It was an astonishing transformation. Certainly, it was at one time unimaginable. Today, Passive House is evolving rapidly. So let's move the frame of reference. Let's look at towers, for example, and shake our preconceptions about what a Passive House building might be and what might be possible. So briefly, from left to right, we have a bank headquarters in Vienna, Austria. Then next to that, a Midtown Manhattan high-rise, mixed affordable, and market-rate apartment building infill. Then a 60-story residential tower starting construction in Vancouver, British Columbia. And on the right, a mixed-use high-rise under construction in Boston, Massachusetts. These are not what you might first guess to be typical passive houses. And even more so, here's a garment factory in Sri Lanka, a retrofit of the existing factory no less, and Passive House certified. And of course, there is housing. This is an affordable housing development in Norwich in the United Kingdom that won the Royal Institute of British Architects' highest award, the Sterling Prize. So here we have affordability, performance, and architectural design that is recognized all in one package. So I hope with these few examples, we can shake off any of our residual self-imposed artificial limits on what's possible. Passive House is no more a constraint to great design than any other programmatic element you're tasked with delivering. I hope you enjoyed this segment. Be sure to watch part 4 on Passive House costing and why it's possible to make passive houses affordable.